The city of Coruscant is having a rude awakening as the Clone Wars comes directly for it. Droids and tanks are deploying from landing crafts, ready to lay siege to Commander Fox's 65th Coruscant Guard. Sergeant Hound is under strict orders to protect the Republic Credit Reserve, in which the 65th Coruscant Guard has lined the hallways of the Republic Bank on Coruscant to defend against the CIS invasion. Can they hold out the Credit Reserve Room, or will they die trying, and the financials of the Grand Army of the Republic will be in jeopardy if they fail? If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below what other Star Wars mod videos would you guys like to see. Either way, let's get into it. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Alright boys, we're going ahead and pressing start right here. Now, this might be a little bit laggy at the start because we do have thousands of droids on the battlefield right now coming forward. Massive bazooka shots from the clones striking the droids right off rip here and causing massive casualties for them. Now, it is laggy now, but as more droids and clones end up dying on the battlefield, it should get a lot better. We do have grenades going out from the droids over here against the clones. The clones have a slight high ground advantage in this sort of like almost first stage of the battle here, although that won't last forever, as it is also one of their weaker stages due to the fact that they have such open ground to start off with, and they're dealing with these AATs, which are already firing in at them and causing some severe damage. So this is not going to be a beautiful holdout from the clones at the very beginning, although the second stage, which is sort of this interior of the courtyard, could be a lot better because there's a lot more choke point action for them. There's like a security area over here and some decent cover over this way too. So that second area could be a lot better for the clone trooper army. And then there's sort of the third stage or third area, which is the actual interior of the bank, which I think is the most defensible because that's an area where the droid AAT tanks aren't going to be able to get into because it's a building, and on top of that, the clones will have some incredible choke points to hold out from over there too. Now, the droids continue pressuring over this way. The AAT cover fire is really hard for the clones to deal with because it's almost head glitching beneath this section here, so it's able to fire without really getting any return fire towards it, and those massive explosions are taking out the defensive perimeters around that way for the clones. So, yeah, Clone Troopers not doing super duper hot over here. They definitely did get some early preliminary bazooka shots that really helped them out. More shelling from droid tanks impacting this area over here, so more clones going down over that way. And the droids begin to creep and crawl their way up the staircase over here to attack this main entrance point over this way. Off to the right side, more droids going down. Okay, that's good to see because other places are not getting these kinds of kills, and the clones need to start racking up some kills if they want to win this thing overall. And the clones over here are getting tons of them as the droids step up over the staircase area over this way and get hit by incoming clone blaster fire. We've got a number of droid bodies on the ground over here, although they are starting to split up more and get good rapid fire out against the clone troopers in the distance. I think that the clones over here, while having a good holdout right now and getting some good kills, they're likely to go down relatively soon here as the droids continue their advance, because they're not slowing down, they're not stopping, and that's exactly how you want to deal with these types of choke point positions here. Although another massive rocket shot from a clone trooper right there takes out 5 or 6 droids. Absolutely gorgeous. Why don't we go ahead and check out the losses real quick here. So, yellow are dead clone troopers, red are dead droids. Droids have definitely taken more losses than the clone troopers at this juncture in the battlefield, but Simultaneously, they're starting to make some gains and gain some territory, which will help them gain the overall advantage in this battle, I think. Couple more droids dying on this staircase over here. That seems to be a common theme, is once they hit these staircases and start going up them, they run into some serious problems on the opposite side, and that's happening right over here. And it looks like actually a little bit over here as well. Droids on top of this staircase going down from incoming clone laser fire. There's still a ton of droids all back here, sort of coming forward, filtering out, and pushing. So this massive amount of droids will definitely cause some serious problems for the clone troopers as they continue to pour on forward here. But for now, the clones, even some of them on the interior of the bank in that little foyer area over there, are getting some great kills, getting some good fire out, and causing some havoc for the droids. More droid deaths over here, but this seems to be the main area where things are going down, and the clones have managed to get a decent number of kills over here. Now we're rocking a really abysmal 8 FPS right now, which is very laggy, so why don't we go ahead and do a small time lapse here just so some of that lag goes away as more clones and droids die, and we'll get a nice bird's eye view over here watching the droids pushing the clones on the opposite side. If you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe! Okay, time-lapse has gone pretty well here as we're now at a stunning 12 to 13 FPS, bouncing around that range. So it's a little bit less laggy, which is really nice. I did notice some droids in this corner coming forward, though they're getting cut down by these clone troopers readily, so that's good to see for the clones for sure. This area doesn't seem to be going as well for the clones. They've still got a decent number of kills, but it looks like a number of them have also died on the interior over that way. These clones over here, there's still a few in this like pocket area over here. I have no idea how that guy died. Interesting. But the droid's doing a pretty good invasion over that way. I think more reinforcements over here will just lead to these clones dying out. Also, this area over here, finally some clones started to bite the dust over here. That rocket could have been sweet, but it completely misses. Rip the dream for the clone trooper army over that way. Yeah, right now the clones just kind of in a holding pattern right now. Looks like these clones are dead. One droid dead over here too. Did he solo these guys? Probably not. There's more droids back that way, but that would be pretty impressive if he had. And we've also got more clones back this way firing at both the right side as well as the left side as droids continue and fail to get into this area. Let's watch back here a bit. Alright, 2 minutes later, clones still holding this position back here, just barely though. Lots of droid losses over this way, couple clones still chilling back here as well. We're up to about 23 FPS, so I think we can bump it up to 2 speed here, really get this thing cooking. Droids have not managed to breach this wall as of yet. The right side over here is completely inactive. How about this back flank? Droids not even making it up the stairs over here. But this is where the droids could have a solution to their problem. They have a huge force over this way. Clones are thinning over this way. You can see another medic actually dying right there. A little war crime for the droid army, baby. Well, the medic had a weapon, so technically, I don't think he's a true medic on the battlefield or something like that. I'm not entirely sure how the Geneva Conventions work. But either way, clones on this opposite side of the wall are starting to have a little bit of a problem, but they've already gotten so many kills that they've definitely done a very good job over here. Let's go ahead and watch them try and continue defending this point, and maybe the droids will make some moves. Alright, 5 minutes more have gone by and the droids continue to die over here, so maybe that wasn't the play. However, the opposite side I did notice is doing a lot better. They finally broke free over this way. The security office didn't seem to really do anything, and they've pretty much crushed the clone resistance over this way. We've even got some shots from AATs, I think, that were over there in here, because that's the only thing that could make a hole that big on the battlefield. And so the droids are officially now entering the bank grounds. They're getting completely destroyed in doing so from a multitude of different clones in various areas, but they're in there, that's for sure. Alright, none are getting stuck in there. That's good. That seems like a place where they definitely would get stuck too. More droids feeding in this way. You guys just wait. Just wait. They can come and flank around the back over this way, but just wait, because you're just going to continue dying if you feed in over there. I don't know what their problem is, but they're dumb. That's their problem. Stop going this way, fellas. Come on. What are we doing? All right, they are pressuring really, really nicely over here, getting some good clone kills. If we look at the mini-map, red are droids still alive, blue are clones still alive. We still have a number of droids. I think these guys might be stuck, so I'll move that real quick and just delete it. We got AATs still, though. They're going to be just about useless, but the vast majority of droids are in this area over here, this little corner right here, where they're pushing on in. They are getting into the foyer of the bank pretty easily now, pretty readily, and managing to get some good kills. Now, we are at 30 FPS, so let's go ahead and bump it up to full speed ahead, baby, and fully get the impact of this battle. Some of those little teller desks, I guess is what they're supposed to be, across the way here, still have clones behind them, but they're pretty heavily suppressed. They're popping up every so often to fire, but not really doing all that much. We've got clones down that hallway firing in at the droids as well, and a few clones behind some potted plants over here. Whatever you can use for cover at this point, utilize, baby. It's all we've got at this juncture. These clones over here finally getting shot down. And the clones over this way, I don't think they're going to last for too much longer. They might be able to get a few more kills, but it's not exactly a super defensible position. Now, on the other hand, when the droids are kind of crossing over this way, maybe the clones over here can get some serious kills in that choke point. But yeah, right here, these clones are going to probably die. The droids finally cleared this area. Hallelujah. What on earth were they doing? Now, there's still 4 clones over here. There's a few droids over here still, too, but it's just abysmal, the droid performance over there. It's absolutely crazy. The main part of the battle does seem to be happening over here. Droids pushing in, getting a quick little headshot on that clone trooper. That clone next to him avenges him, but then the droids throw a grenade, they get the blast off, and they kill that guy pretty swiftly. We do have another clone back here, though, and he's going to get grenaded as well. A swift solution to that problem. Now, here's the thing. The bank vaults are just back there, so there's only a few more doorways that the clones need to defend at this point. There's also some flank routes. This hallway here, and this hallway over here. I don't know how easy this area over here is going to... Okay, well, those clones died very quickly. The daily curse continues. But still, this doorway is pretty tight. It's going to be a tough push for the droids over here, so this area might be the easiest push for them in total. And look at this, the droids funneling on in here. We've got some random desks here. What's on the monitor? Is that Battlefront 2, bro? That might be Battlefront 2. I can't quite tell, but it does look like Battlefront 2 to me. Alright, that's a super battle droid right there. Bro, that's crazy. Look at the detail. That might be Republic Commando. And that might be the Battlefront 1's mini-map, maybe? I'm not entirely sure, but that is pretty funny. That's some impeccable detail from the Galaxy at War mod team right there. And from Rollum, the creator of the map. Rollum is an absolute legend. I believe this was one of the maps I commissioned from him, and I'm commissioning some more maps from him soon. But he is one of the few still active map makers for the Galaxy at War mod for Men of War Assault Squad 2. Every once in a while, you know, Darth Bacon or Ahsoka will go ahead and drop a map as well on the Galaxy at War mod, but for the most part, right now, it is the Galactic Frontiers mod, which is a sub-mod, still bringing content to the game, as well as Rollum. So, 2 legends, basically, continuing this community. Now, the droids taking some serious losses here. They have not managed to kill any clones in this area over here, so that's going to be a disaster if that continues. A couple droids did push successfully in this way, took out these clones, but now these clone troopers over here are able to wipe them out. Just turn! Oh my goodness. Oh, there's still a clone right there? Not anymore. Never mind. And the clones over here did die. There's one clone right there, but he's just chilling, and I think the droids will mostly pivot over this way because they'll be attracted to the laser fire the clones are doing in this area. Now, the most fighting is still happening over here. Droids choosing to go into those, like, little cubicle-style areas instead of pushing outward around this way, which would definitely be the most ideal way to go up against these clone troopers over here, is to just swing out a little bit more instead of giving them the exact same tunnel to shoot down every single time. Nice little throwaway of that grenade, that droid popper that the clone troopers attempted to use right there, but still the clone fire continues to come in, rain on these droids' parade, and really just mess them up real good. So this could be a good choke point where the clones can just fully succeed. I don't know. Alright, there are a few droids getting trapped in here, so I will open up this wall right here so they can leave. Just because they'll derp in here forever. They're in the bank vault! No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, we'll just let them out through that little tunnel there. These guys going in now, great. Amazing. We still do have some droids out here. Over here, there's still some droids. They're still trying to pressure this point, which is not a bad idea. Problem is these two clone troopers here crushing them. Yikes. But if they could side swipe through these clone troopers over here, they'd alleviate some pressure over that way, and maybe those droids can make some room. If we look at the minimap right now, red are droids, blue are clone troopers. Clones still have a decent number of troopers. Actually, both sides seem to have equal numbers of troopers now. There's still quite a number of droids back here. They're creeping their way forward, though, so I'm not going to anti-derp rule them because they're still moving, baby. They're still making things happen, so as long as they're moving, we're happy. Some droid snipers over here, which could be good because they can one-shot, headshot kill, which could be exactly what they need to succeed here, but I am worried about this droid push. I'm thinking that they're probably not going to be able to make this thing happen in the long run here. The clones continuing to dice them up as they step foot outside of this area. And Sergeant Hound, by the way, is chilling back here with his homies, and there's quite a number of them back here too. So this is a whole other problem that we haven't even touched upon yet, but it's more so this area that the clones are delivering the pain from for the droids. So if the droids can defeat this area, they could be good. Let's go ahead and watch this area right now. We can see droids coming from over here and over here, but they are slowing down their assault. This is not looking too good for the droid army right now, so if you're rooting for them, I hate to break the news. They might be losing this one. Alright guys, I think this battle's just about donezo here. Yeah, there's barely any droids left alive. Oh, they might do a little push here. Yeah, look at this. Oh yeah, they're gonna... The remaining droids are gonna move... Oh, and they're back to their positions. Okay, here's the deal. These droids are gonna get some reinforcements, and the clones are gonna have to hold out. Because... well, the clones kind of dominated this last half, and I think we gotta make this a little interesting. Alright, boys, droids got another 1,500 soldiers as reinforcements coming in hot here. The clones still have their remaining soldiers left alive over here, so this is going to be the final part of the battle here to find out if the clones can still continue to hold out against these droid reinforcements coming in right now. These clones getting killed rather quickly, but that's okay. There's still more backing them up from behind there, but really just wanted to see what happens with droid reinforcements coming in, since the clones honestly smacked them so bad before this. The clones absolutely dominated prior to the droids getting reinforcements, so I think this will be kind of fun to go ahead and see. Clones are taking some losses out there because the droids are kind of gathered together now and coming in a sheer force right now, but they're not attacking from this angle just yet. Looks like these droids will push in through there eventually, and more droids heading over this way. So right now it's this hallway that's getting full-scale pressured, whereas before it was the other hallway, and I think this hallway might be a little bit harder for the clone troopers to hold. Now, remember, we still have all these clones back here, and clones over here, so the clone troopers still have a very solid force going forward to attempt to stop these droids. Now, they are losing these troops pretty readily, which is not great. Let's bump it into 2 speed here. Grenades going out. Oh, because there's a clone left alive right there. I had no idea. Look at that. Oh, breaking the walls. Someone's gonna have to pay for that. Come on. No putting crack in the walls. That's not good, boys. That's not good. You know, leave it as you found it, as they say. All right, another clone trooper dying right there. This is not good. Clones are doing horribly. Well, I guess the droids are just doing well. Because the clones are getting some kills at the very least. All right, we got fire going on this way now. Droids are trying to push through that away. And look at this. They're filing into that room right there, but getting blasted while doing so, which is great. Clone grenade going out there. I'm not sure that's going to help really at all, but we'll see. Maybe it gets a... No, there was no one there. There was no one there. That was completely useless, but it is what it is, I suppose. Okay. This is, you know, not the greatest thing for the clone troopers at the moment, but at the very least, they are still holding this angle. Droids continuing to funnel in that way like they did last time around, except for this time, they're actually pushing through and kind of getting there, which is not good for the clones. Look at that, they're busting through that way, and these clones around the corner here are going to have to deal with the consequences of that area's failure this time around very, very soon. The clones definitely are out killing the droids right now, but will it be enough to get the W? I am just not entirely sure. We've also still got all these clones back here able to fire, and no droids are going over that way right now, which is really, really good for the clone troopers as a whole. All right, why don't we go ahead and time-lapse here for a little bit, because we're getting 8 FPS right now, and we'll watch these droids coming in. Look at that, droids push through this doorway here. They're getting it done right now. We still have Hound and his troopers back here all set up, and they've got a pretty wide net that they can cast over that way. But I think these clones to our immediate right are going to be going down. We're getting like 6 FPS though, so this is pretty brutal frame rate. This is pretty garbage. So why don't we go ahead and do another time lapse here, and we'll do it at this angle so we can see both the clones and the droids rounding that corner over there. No, Sergeant Hound just went down, so it's up to his troopers right now. Alright, you know what? We're gonna get reinforcements for the clones now, and they're gonna come out the vault. Ready? Let's do it. Oh my god, sneak attack! The clones had troopers hiding in the vault the whole time! They get about 40 reinforcements in here now against the droids' 1,500 reinforcements. Oh god. If the guy who counts the number of wins everyone has, if he wants to just count this as a clone win off of the first battle, I don't blame you. This is more just bonus content now, and it's gone awry. So we can call this an official clone victory, but I just wanted to spice things up, and now it's chaos. I just wanted to see the back defense, and then it didn't go well at all. But let's watch this, I guess, because it's so laggy. Alright, the clones all out holding right now. There's still a lot of droids. I think many of them are kind of stuck in these walls, so I'll go ahead and pop those open real quick, just so they can escape and continue the assault, if they so please. But, oh yeah, they're coming. most certainly coming. Look at that. Holy cow. Okay, yeah. Wow, a lot of them were stuck in the walls. This battle has turned into a complete and utter disaster. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it, boys. This battle has evolved into something I was not prepared for. That's a lot of droids coming all at once. Holy cow. That's what she said. We're gonna have some problems here for sure. Oh, God. I can't get this battle right. This battle has taken turn after turn of just, like, wonkiness. This is a wonky battle, my guys. Absolute wonker doodle. We still got a lot of clones left alive here, but they're kind of just getting beat up by droids at this point, so I'm not super convinced they're going to end up getting the W. Honestly, all the droids need to do is plop one grenade into the middle of these guys, and they're all toast. That's it. One granata, and it is Joverville for them. And hey, even they don't even have to do that. They could just shoot them, apparently, and that's getting the job done just as well. So, I think the clones are going to be coming to a close here. This is going to be about it for the boys. There's still a few of them, and I pretty much only spawned into T21 soldiers, funnily enough, when we got those nice safe deposit box reinforcer boys. And T21s are great. I mean, those are good weapons in the Clone Wars, so I guess it's fine, but it's still probably not going to be enough. Droids are losing a lot of soldiers still, but I think it's going to be hard for the clones to come away with the W. Let's time lapse for a little bit, though. And there we have it, boys. The downfall of the clones. I think the first battle is still the result, but you know what? Just let me know in the comments. I might have gone a little nuts with this one. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.